Hey, it's your boy AJ back with another freaking video, and today I'm here with something very, very, very special. I promise. After the videos I shoot today, that'll be gone. I gotta get a battery after I do all this, okay? But girl, I'm here with something very, very special. I've been wanting to do this for forever, girl, and it's finally time. It's go time. It's crank up time to start doing these TV reviews, girl. Because girl, the shows are coming back to back. Another one, thank me. Another one, thank me. Another one, thank me. Okay. But today we're here with something very special. It's All Queens Men. Now, before we get into the show review and the recap of what happened over the last 2 episodes, I'm gonna kind of breeze y'all through and kind of bring y'all into what's going on and express how much I love the show. But before we do all that, girl, run this intro so we can get into the things of the things, okay? So, starting off, y'all, I absolutely love All Queens Men. I've been watching it for like a year and a half. Started from the first season. I remember when the first season came out, all 12 episodes dropped at once. And I remember being like gun held hostage on my couch or on my bed for like a day and a half watching all the episodes. It was so good. I was eating it up. I started to spread the word. I started to tell everybody, you watch it, you watch it, you watch it, you watch it. Didn't nobody want to watch it. The girls didn't want to watch it. Didn't nobody want to listen to me about the show. They didn't want to give it any type of anything. I don't know, but like, girl, if you know, you know. The show is good, and I can't force a girl to get a good show, because it don't get no better than All Queens Men, okay? Y'all know, even in my videos previously, when I do like, what was it, for Vlogmas, I was like 7 things to watch on your Christmas vacation, and All Queens Men was on there. I love All Queens Men. That's all I talk about. All Queens Men is to die for. But you guys, let's talk about the thing. Now, I am horrible with character names, but I kind of catched on with the last 2 episodes. Meanwhile, y'all, I done seen every episode of All Queens Men to ever be released, but I still don't remember nobody's name other than Madam, okay? Because Madam is running things. Let me explain what's going on. The first season came out, you guys. It was a wonderful first season. So the second season came out in July. It came out in July. It was 12 episodes, and now they're releasing a part 2 of the second season. So it's second season part A, second season part B. I am going to start reviewing part B, which started last week, okay? Part B has 12 episodes. 2 episodes will drop every week, which means what? 6 reviews, girl. I feel like I can stick to this one, alright? I feel like I can stick to this one. So I do have my notes for the first 2 episodes of season 2 part B. Okay. I hope I'm not losing, girls. I do have it, but I do want to bring y'all up to speed if y'all don't know what's going on. Now, my baby daddy, Doc. Ooh, all these are my baby daddy. Now, I'm gonna keep saying baby daddy, because all these men are black kings, okay? But Doc, he had a baby mama, and he had recently just found out that the child she had was his.
You know this is your baby, right? You trying to take her from me.
In the previous season, it really went down between him and the baby mama and her husband, because the baby mama, his baby mama got a husband. Yeah, she had a husband. Well, she had a husband. And the husband found out, like, hey, this child isn't mine. It's actually this stripper that she been screwing at Club Eden, which Club Eden is run by Madam. You really gotta watch the show to get into, like, you know, who's, but I'm here to tell y'all what's going on, okay? And hopefully persuade y'all to watch. But anyways, Doc, my baby daddy girl, he had found out that, oh, I thought I was just screwing this girl, but she didn't, this child that she done had for a minute is mine. And she was put out of her house. Now she's trying to come stay with me, and she acting crazy because I won't let her stay with me, but I can keep the baby. So that's what was going on. That's what was going on at the end of last season. And they were in a heated argument. They was at a heated argument outside of his workplace because he's a stripper. All of these are strippers. All the Queens Men, all of these people are strippers, okay? But it'll be going down in this little strip joint. But anyways, at the end of last season, he's outside talking with his baby mama. She has the baby wrapped up in a blanket. They're getting into a heated argument. She's crazy. I gotta explain that she's psychotic. She's loco, okay? She's loco. She's loco. So they're going back and forth. She tries to do a dramatic sprint off, and she runs in front of a bus. She runs in front of the bus. The bus hits her and the child, and they both drop dead.
Teresa, look, just let me talk to you. Like, Teresa!
That is where the season ended, and they made us wait months. I mean months. Okay, good thing it wasn't like a year. P-Valley could never, but they made us wait months. So the start of season 2B opens with that scene. They're gagged. They're like gagged. I'm sitting there gagged too. Doc, my baby daddy, is gagged. He's like, look at this. Look at my baby mama, and also, not me. Look at my other baby mama. Look at my other baby mama on the ground, and also this dead baby that I just found out was actually my child. So from that scene, it cuts over to Amp. Now Amp is Sky Black. Sky Black, also he's a king, another baby daddy of mine. Another one of mine. Now let me explain what was going on in Amp's role last season. This will be the first time I ever explain what's going on the last season. I just want everybody to be caught up into the storylines that was continued in this first episode, okay? But Amp is Madam's son. Now Madam, she owns Club Eden. Not Madam's son, I mean Madam's nephew. One of them. I'm sorry, I'm lost. You know, it's fine. But Amp is, he got into a heated argument with Madam. She thought that he had stole some money last season, and she was ready to kill him, girl. She was ready to end him. She was ready to put an end be all to him. And it ended up coming out later on that actually it was not him. It was these hillbilly crackers. It was these hillbilly crackers, and you really just gotta watch that season to understand what's going on. But I'm gonna talk more about the hillbillies as this episode progresses. But the way that Madam found out that, hey, you know, her nephew might be stealing from her, it was a worker told her. One of Madam's workers told her, which is like, what is she? I think she's a DJ. The DJ girl ended up telling Madam, like, look here, I think your nephew stole this money from you. I was over at his house screwing him, and I looked under the bed and I found this bag of money. Now, when that happened, honey, Madam was not playing no games. Madam went to her nephew. She had him in chains. She had him ready to murder. She was ready to murder that man. But she ended up finding out, like I said, it was not him, and it was actually the money that she seen of his was given to him because of some incident that happened a long time ago. And she ended up finding out who stole her money, where they was. It was a whole grand old thing in last season. But with that happening to Amp, he was not messing with Madam. He was not messing with the girl that he was screwing that was, you know, Chugga Chugga, the DJ girl. He wasn't messing with anybody. He was not screwing with anybody. Like, he was like, y'all almost had me murdered over some money that was mine. And plus, y'all family, y'all blood, except for the girl he was screwing, you know, that they're not from Alabama. This happens in Atlanta. But he's over it. He's over it. He's angry. He doesn't really want to talk to anybody. So he's back at his apartment. So this is where that scene opens up. He's at his apartment.
I told y'all, I'm good on all y'all motherfuckers, alright?
If you didn't want to talk, you wouldn't have picked up the phone.
I picked up the phone to tell you to stop calling my fucking number, alright?
Back at Madam's house, you guys. So Madam had a man chained in her room. Literally, he had a cage and he was chained in there. She said that he ended up getting out some type of way, and it went the fuck down. A girl, she said she had to murder him and he's no longer. So she tells one of her staff members, like, go back to my house, handle this body, and pour the body over in some acid because we got too many bodies buried around this club. And the reason why she says she has these bodies buried around her club is because she likes to walk on her haters while she works. And I thought that was a real nasty key. If I was real crazy, I think that's something I would do. But good thing I'm not real crazy. So she tells one of the men to go back to her home, pour the body in some acid. We're not burying this one. This one has to go. He tried to escape and we was in there ruffle-luffling. So Madam, last season, she got into it with a judge. And then after she got into it with the judge ended up having to be under her finger. So Madam has it where she's able to have people do what she say when she say it, how she say it, okay? And she had a run-in with the judge, and let me explain what happened with the judge. So it was this lady, older lady, coming into Club Eden, and she was, you know, getting screwed in the back of the club. Now Madam didn't know who that woman was getting screwed in the back of the club, and when she found out, like, oh baby, you a judge, you getting screwed, and you got a husband, oh, I'm gonna linger this over your head. So Madam has always been able to linger that over the judge's head and get things done. So if Madam has one of her, like, you know, scrippers are locked in jail, Madam is able to call the judge, you need to get this figured out in 2 hours, 1 hour actually. Now last season, her and the judge had a little spick and spat, and Madam went and took the judge's dog. And Madam also, she kind of, you know, snatched the judge's front door open last season. So Madam has the judge's dog. She has the judge's dog, and the judge is in the club like, you know, I want my dog, I want my dog, I want my dog. And Madam's like, you're not getting this damn dog. Y'all gotta hear how she talk. Y'all gotta hear how she talk. She's telling her, like, you're not getting this damn dog. So the only reason that the judge showed up is to get her dog. She really wasn't there to do any fair exchange other than take the dog. And Madam was like, well, you're not getting the dog, but I also want their watch. So Madam is like, give me the watch on you. And she takes the watch from the judge, and she gives it to, like, her security guard boy that does all the things. He's also the same boy that had to go and put the body in some acid because they couldn't bury no more bodies. So once the judge gives, you know, the watch to Madam, well, actually the security guard, I'm like, I don't know.
Give him the watch, bitch. It's you giving away shit.
I'm like, how easily she gave up that watch. It could be a camera, it could be a mic, it could be something in that damn watch, because I'm a very superstitious girl and I do not want my girl Madam in nothing, because I absolutely love Madam girl. She be getting it going, okay? So she takes the watch from the judge. The judge really, she goes on by her business, girl. She doesn't get the puppy, she doesn't get anything. She gives up her watch and she goes by her business, which quite frankly I would have stayed at home, because I thought I was coming here to get my damn dog and I ended up losing my watch in the process and I didn't get my dog back. Crazy. So at this point, Madam is not aware of what's going on outside of the club. All the boys, all the strippers have migrated outside of the club and they're, you know, surrounding Doc to give him, you know, what they can, because he literally just seen his baby mama and his child he just found out that was his die. So they're just looking. there's no more I can say. All the strippers are gathered outside and they're just looking at, you know, what's going on. Now, the light-skinned stripper, or like the Latino stripper, I can't think of his name because he barely has that many scenes, I'm sorry, but he goes over to the baby and he unwraps the baby and looks at the dead baby, and everybody just starts to go bananas. And I probably would go more than bananas, because that's, oh Jesus, but people are going bananas. Now at this point, back in the club, Madam and her other assistant, Blue is top tier, they're looking for the stripper boys. They're like, where is the boys, where is the boys? It's finally figured out that, you know, the boys are outside looking at, you know, the dead people, and they have to come out, you know, and Blue comes outside to gather the boys and tell the boys, you know, this is not what it's given.
Doc, go inside.
No, not so fast. Not so fast.
What is it? He answered your question.
Now, the boys are forced to go back in and dance because they literally have a club packed full of people that don't know what's going on and how many people laying outside dead. People in the club don't know. They period I, period O, period I, period O. They inside of that club, period I, and the people outside is mourning, okay? Outside mourning. But the boys are forced to go back into the club and give a good show. In the middle of the dance, because they do have these dance singing in the show, in the middle of the boys, I know you keep the one to come and put the pussy on me. In the middle of them doing all that, honey, the light-skinned Latino dancer that I told y'all about, that seen the baby, he just starts throwing up on this one girl. And I'm like, oh my goodness. I'm like, what is going on? At this point, Madam's like, what's going on with that one? And Blue, which is, you know, her ride or die, her left-hand girl, she's like, he's seen, you know, the baby. And Madam ended up following the Latino boy, and she ended up telling him, like, you just go home, do what you gotta do.
What happened?
Madam, I just saw the baby.
Look, boy, go home.
Now, still in the room back, you know, behind the stage is Doc, you know, the one that lost his baby and baby mama. He's still just there, like, in a state of shock. Just in a state of shock. He was also harassed earlier. They was trying to force him to say, you know, he pushed the girl in front of the bus, X, Y, and Z. So he's processing, trying to be forced for a murder that literally didn't happen because of him. But he's trying to go through so much. Like, he's going through so much. Like, the people are trying to say that he murdered her and pushed her and the baby in front of the bus. Also, it's some stuff that happened in another season that he did, girl, that he's still trying to process. It's like a lot going on. So he's behind the stage, girl, just goofed and gagged. So the club night ends. It's time to go. All the boys are tipping out and they're leaving. Now all the boys are leaving the club. Blue is still there, which is Blue. She, like I said, she's one of the girls that's really like running the club. She's like security. She does a lot. She buries people, murders people. She does anything that she can for Madam. Now at the back of the club, while she's receiving all the tip out money, there's some girl sprung out drunk in a booth. And I'm like, what is she doing back there, Ariana? I'm looking at her like, what's going on? The boys asked Blue, like, do you need us to get her? She's like, look here, that bitch is drunk. I don't need no help. I can her real quick and she'll be fine. So the boys tip out, they end up leaving out, and then Blue has to go back and address the drunk woman. She tells the drunk woman, like, look here, wake up, it's time to go. You need me to sit in your car, Uber, what's going on? What's going on? You gotta go, you gotta go. And the drunk woman's like, look here, I've been sitting here all day waiting for you. Telling her, like, I've been waiting for you. I feel like you're so attractive. You're this and that. Now, me watching this show and being an avid fan of this show, I'm like, Blue, don't talk to her. Blue, don't talk to her. Blue, don't talk to her. I don't want Blue to talk to her because I feel like Blue is going to talk to her and something crazy is going to happen, and it's going to be a setup. It's going to be a setup. Now, Blue tells her off rip, like, look here, baby, you need to go. Whatever all that you watching me, no, you need to go. Now, the woman is telling her, like, no, I don't want to go. You know, you need to meet me for coffee and whoop, 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 doop, 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 doop. And that is where, you know, the scene kind of shivers off. It goes back to Amp. Now, Amp is who I told y'all is Madam's nephew. Madam's nephew that was at a gunpoint because she thought he had stole some money from her. And I feel like I would probably have my family at gunpoint too, because we are family and you steal that much money from me. But he didn't even steal it. He didn't even steal it. They found out he didn't steal it. Anyway, they go back to his house and this scene is just pure ghetto. It's pure ghetto. Now, he had been in a relationship with the DJ inside the club eating for a while. I can't think of her name. I don't know why I can't think of her name right now. And they were beginning to grow into something actually, you know. I felt like they could have been married. But when she seen that bag of money and she told his auntie and caused all that commotion, he was no longer messing with her at all. He was no longer effing with her. It was F her, not effing with her. It was F her, not effing with her. So with that being said, he's in his apartment still, you know, angry about how everything that went down. He's in his apartment with a brand new girl, okay? A brand new girl. Some girl he done found out in the streets, honey. And when the DJ girl walks in, she's like, who is this? Really? A girl? A girl? We barely been stopped talking for 10 minutes. You know, like going off. And he's like, you wasn't thinking about that when you almost had me killed? Like, oh, I'm like, yes. Because in other scenes, he barely talked. He literally, his character was fresh out of jail. You know, he was just getting back on his feet. And now coming into this season, I feel like he's really just standing more in his character and they're giving him more of a leading role. So he's going off, he's doing this in X, Y, and Z.
And you gonna walk your ass into my fucking apartment and try to force me to talk to you?
I just want you to listen.
Go ahead, though.
And he tells the, you know, the new girl, the little hokey tokey girl, little prostitute he got in there, he tell her, suck this. And I'm like, woo!
Suck my dick.
In front of your OG girl, I know she almost had you murdered, but you doing it in front of her. He tells that hooker, suck my, and he pours it out. And the girl is down there giving him sloppy top. Now, is her name Diamond? Dime, yes. That's her name. It just randomly came to me. So, girl is down there giving him slop, and Dime loses her mind. Girl, Dime had 25 on it. She didn't have just a dime on it. She had 25 on it. She had a whole quarter. She ended up turning that house up. She was turning that, well, not house. She was turning that little apartment up, girl. It gave real nasty diarrhea of a mad black woman. Diarrhea of a mad black woman. It gave nasty diarrhea of a mad black woman. She was in there tearing that apartment up. And I feel like, you know, it's kind of like a lose-lose type of situation. I felt like, you know, Dime, I could understand why you was upset because he's literally getting fellatio in front of you and you've been doing that for, you know, about a year or two. Or not even a year or two. I don't know how long this show has this timeline out, but that's how long I've been watching the show, a year or two. But I could understand why Dime feels that way. But also on the other hand, Dime, you almost had this man murdered. But how could Dime not know that this wasn't the money that was missing out of the club that she randomly found in the bag under her man's bed? And he works in the club and this is his auntie. Everything kind of pointed at him. Plus you got this money bag. So I don't know how she could know, but I don't know. I feel everybody in the situation. I feel how Dime could feel like, hey, I didn't know, I was just, you know, I don't know. But girl, she's tearing this house up like a diary of a mad black woman and he is scared. He's telling her, get the fuck out, get the fuck out, get the fuck out. Girl, she's trying to fight the woman. The woman's scared, she's spooked, she nervous, and he's telling Dime, just get out. I'm like, you thought that telling this stripper girls to suck your meat-long sausage in front of Dime wasn't gonna go back to your house getting towed up? It's crazy. I don't know what he thought was gonna happen. Maybe he thought Dime was gonna join in, but Dime was not part of, she was not part of none of them foolishness. None of them shenanigans. She was not part of none of it. So the next scene, Blue has actually went and had coffee with the woman that was laid out at the club. And I'm like, what is going on? Like, this is some setup crap. I said the club is so hot. Y'all have police here every other day. It's too much going on for Lou to be introducing anybody new to her life. You need to be introducing nobody new to your life right now. It's too hot. The girls probably sent anything in to try to get something out of y'all, get some tea out of y'all and spy on y'all. So I was not messing with that. But Blue, she's at this coffee date and she's talking to this woman. Now the drunk woman has kind of sobered up a little bit because I guess she got some coffee in her system. And she's telling Blue like, hey, I'm in a relationship with a dude. He's very, you know, hard. He hits on me. He does this, he does that. And Blue is kind of, you know, feeling remorse for her. And all of a sudden, girl, the drunk, somewhat sober girl asks Blue, I want you to take me back to your place and screw me. And I'm like, I don't know, maybe a Motel 6, maybe a nice Hilton, but not Blue's face. She does not need to be in Blue's place. She does not need to be in Blue's place at all. I wasn't vibing with it, but of course Blue let her come on home. So all the boys, all the stripper men have gathered at, oh, my computer was going off. I had the green screen converting for another video. But all the men, all the strippers have gathered at Doc's place and they're just really just debriefing the day. They're like, we can't believe that happened. They're all just chilling. They all looking good. They all looking good. All of them look good. Now, I'm telling y'all, this show, this cast, if you don't watch even just for the storyline, you can go watch it on mute because everybody is fine. Okay, baby? But they're all in Doc's, you know, apartment debriefing the day and talking about what happened. Out of nowhere, there's a knock on the door. And why is it the police officer that was harassing him earlier in the episode telling him, like, you pushed her, you pushed her? She comes in and said, you're arrested for attempted murder of an infant and also a murder of the woman. And they put him in cuffs and wheeled him out. Well, not wheel him out, walk him out. And I'm like, no, my God, my man. I'm ready to put bail on him. I got 5 on it. That's about all I can give, okay? But baby, I was ready to put some bail on it because ain't no way. It's giving Aretha Franklin. It's giving no way.
You're under arrest for the murder of Teresa Singleton and the attempted murder of Olivia Singleton. Turn around.
So, out of nowhere, the scene switched back over to Amp place. Amp, I guess he done got finished tearing the stripper up. Girl, he done tore that stripper up. They laid up, ba-da-boo-doo, boot up, ba-da-da-da-da-doo-doo, boot up. They laid up, boot up, honey. And out of nowhere, and I mean nowhere, girl, he gets a knock on the door and it's beating, boom, boom, boom. Now, he is telling, like, Dime, if that's you, because, you know, she told the place and left. He like, Dime, if that's you, I swear it's better not be you. And he like, Blue, if that's you, because Blue, you know, is Madam's assistant. And he's like, Blue, if that's you, and I don't want to hear from Madam. So I'm thinking in my head, like, that's Madam outside, and she's coming back to, you know, apologize and say, you know, we family, we blood, let's move past this. That's what I'm thinking in my head, girl. This man opens the door, and it's the white people that sold the money from Madam, and they all got tore up. So I don't know how they done found out who her family was and where her family stayed, but baby, they done came and got her family. They end up beating him. They is wearing that man down, and all of a sudden they pick him up and they is taking him out and they kidnap him. The hooker is hiding, running in the restroom, girl. She done got everything she needed to come for, and I'm pretty sure she didn't want none that they had to offer. So she hiding in the restroom, and I'm like, oh my goodness. Now that is where episode 1 ends off of season 2B, and then we have the next episode. So I'm gonna talk about the next episode real briefly because my camera is dying, but we're gonna always talk about the 2 episodes in one video. I'm not gonna split them. So let's move into episode 2 from season B. It opens up with Amp actually in somebody's garage, girl. Somebody, he's chained up somewhere. The white folks have him chained, and they're telling him like what's going on. They're like, look here, you might not know what's going on, but I know who your auntie is. She came over, she took this money from us, she destroyed our land, she murdered my brother, and you're about to pay, girl. The white man calls him an N-word, and I haven't seen an N-word said on the show or a movie in so long. My skin started to crawl. I'm like, is they still saying it in the studio? Like, I'm like, does he lip it? Does somebody else say, like, what's going on? But when he says it, you know, Amp is like, you just don't know. You just don't know who you're messing with. And I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, Amp, the way that you told everybody, like, F y'all for how y'all did me, I don't think nobody's gonna be coming and looking for, oh no. I hope somebody come get my man, girl, but I don't think, girl. I feel like both of them, you know, his family has burnt bridges with him, and he's burnt bridges with his family over a misunderstanding, you know. So the next scene, some more characters are introduced, and what is this man's character name? Babyface. Yes, Babyface. Now, Babyface is a stripper in Club Eden. He's one of the Queen's men, okay? He's one of the Queen's men, but he's a stripper. And he had this one client in the first season, and she was a big girl. Her name is Patty. She go by Patty. And she was paying for his lifestyle. She had his car. She bought his car. She was paying for his apartment. She pays for his lifestyle and how he lives day to day. Now, he's back at his apartment where she, you know, paid bills at. So, of course, she's in there, girl, just being so, she's grown more and more annoying as the show progresses because she's like crazy. She's one of them sugar mamas, like, girl, you want sugar, you want this, you want that. You more than a sugar mama. You a sugar deluxe at this point. You sugar deluxe. And she's not even old. She's like a young girl. So her and Babyface are going back and forth. They're having this conversation. They're kind of arguing, and she is, you know, going off on him, telling him, you know, once again, this is my apartment. This is what I'm paying for you. Doing all that, okay? As, you know, I say, she's a very dramatic girl. Out of nowhere, she starts, you know, taking the argument up a notch. She starts screaming, starts saying, oh, you hitting me, do. He hasn't touched her. At this point, she's charging at him. She's pushing him. She's pushing him. She's the one, the aggressor. She's doing the hit. Out of nowhere, she picks up the phone. She calls 911 and starts screaming, oh, oh, she hit me. Oh, he hit me. Meanwhile, they're 3 miles apart because she's a big girl. So you can't even get that close to her. You can't even get that close to her because she's a big girl.
Oh my God! Help me! He's beating me!
Either he reaches and makes her hangs up the phone, or either she hangs up the phone, but they're not able to talk about whatever address happened. So after, I think he hung up the phone, after he took the phone and hung up, she punches him once again. She's the aggressor. She punches him once again. He pushes her and she falls onto the ground, and she's knocked unconscious. At this point, he's like, oh my goodness, and he runs out. He runs out, guns a-blazing. He's gone. I don't know where he's going to go because this is his apartment that she fell out in, but he's gone. So in this show, Madam, she has quite a couple, you know, nemesis and girls that don't really like her and, you know, want to gather against her and bring her down, which is a judge, this random wife because she was screwing her husband. It's a long story. Just know that it's 3 different people that don't like Madam, and we'll talk about them as the show progresses, and I'll go into more of a backstory for them at a later date. Just know they ain't screwing with Madam, and Madam ain't screwing with them. But Madam is completely unaware that all 3 of them even knows about each other's existence. She doesn't even know that. So imagine all of these girls gathered up together at a tea party trying to see how to bring Madam down. Now, Madam, being the cunt woman she is, she has GPS trackers on every enemy that she has, okay? So imagine her going to look at the trackers and all 3 of these bitches are together, and you didn't even know these 3 bitches knew each other. So Madam finds out that information, and then the scene cuts back to Blue. Blue, she's waking up fresh. She comes into her bedroom, and where the hooker is, you know, just not the hooker, girl, the woman that said her husband was beating on her, but I think it's really a setup. That woman, she's laying all in Blue's bed, and Blue like, you know, it was good last night, but you gotta go, girl. I gotta go to work. And the woman's like, well, my husband beats on me, playing that game again. And Blue like, really, is that bad, huh? And she's like, yes, I just would want to stay, you know, or I can go to the mall and, you know, come back as soon as you get back. Blue's like, look here, you stay here, it's cool, it's cool. And I'm thinking like, why the hell is Blue playing around with this woman like that? Blue usually don't get down like that. Blue usually be very superstitious, but maybe, you know, Blue got something for her ass just in case she try to crank up on somebody.
You know what? No, don't worry about it. I'll just,
You can stay.
I'll go.
Stay. Listen. Stay. It's fine.
So, like I told y'all, Doc, you know, the man with the dead child and dead baby mama, he in jail, girl. He in jail. He getting harassed by this woman cop that, you know, kept saying, you did it, you did it, you did it, you did it. And she finally got, you know, him in jail. Now, he's being harassed. She asking a million questions. She's asking this question. She asking that question. And he's saying, I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. My name is Bennett. I'm not in it. I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. So, the lady cop, she comes in and she asks him, are you aware that, you know, what just happened? And he's like, yeah, I know what happened. And then she tells him, you know, your baby died. And she pulls out a picture and shows him. And I'm like, oh my goodness, why the hell would you do that? And I guess she was trying to evoke some type of emotion to make him confessed of a murder he didn't do, or something that Madam had going on. I don't know what her doing this was trying to pull out of him. She ended up getting gagged in return. She thought she was gagging him, but he had a gag for her, okay? He said, he asked her, he said, you want this dick, don't you? And I'm like, at this point, he's in handcuffs like this. He said, you want this dick, don't you? And I'm like, well, if she don't. Hi. Hey, how you doing? I'm in the Ring doorbell like, no, but he asks her, do you want this Cocker Spaniel? And he literally, in handcuffs, he goes into the pens, pulls it out, and drops it on the table. And she looking, and she trying to keep questioning. She looking, and she trying to keep questioning. She looking, and she trying to keep questioning. And I'm like, I don't know how she did it. I don't know how she did it. Baby, Bob Yob gone, okay? Bob Yob MIA. But she's going through her questions. She's still, you know, proceeding forward with the interrogation.
Want some of this dick?
Wow.
How big that motherfucker is. Lady, I will bend your ass over on this table and beat the brakes off of you. I promise you.
So, fast forward back to Madam. Well, not fast forward, but just, we're going to go back to Madam. That's what's going on in the jail. They cut back over to Madam, and Madam is trying her best to get Doc out of jail. She called the judge that she had. She told her, look here, get Doc out of jail. You got an hour. Get it done.
Yes.
Hi, I have one of my boys in jail. I need you to get him out.
Baby, she went over to the jail. She was thinking that she was gonna pull Doc out of jail. Not the judge. Madam went over to the jail and thought that the judge had got things in motion. Girl, the judge didn't do anything because the judge is feeling pussy kind. Because like I said, she has 2 other people that don't like Madam and they think they're about to bring Madam down. Okay, but it's not about to happen. Never gonna happen. So Madam's at the jail. She's trying to get Doc out and she's like, oh, no calls were made.
You're not gonna like this.
What?
There's no bill set.
So that is when she goes, you know, looks at the location and see all of three of them linked up. Now, madam, she drives over to where they were. She goes and knocks on the front door, actually. She's very classy. She goes knock on the front door, you know, to get the girls to answer. They ain't answering. You wanna know why? Because they in the back by the pool around the table eating some dry ass calamari and drinking tea. That's in the words of madam, not mine. So madam drives around and she just completely just drives through the back gate. She drives through the back gate. She walks over to where the girls are sitting down and all of them are gagged. And she starts beating the full-blown hell out of the judge.
Think I'm the kind of motherfucker you could get around to get him back to?
I have made the calls.
Not enough fucking calls.
They end up going into the pool and madam is drowning her, bringing it up for a couple of her, drowning her, bringing it up for a couple of her, drowning her. And I'm like, I am gagged. I'm like, woo wee girl, we in here for swimwear. Well, she couldn't swim. The judge couldn't swim. The judge was dying. The judge should have made that call because the judge was dropping dead, okay? Girl, she ended up leaving the judge in there. I guess the judge had passed out and she ended up telling one of her men to like pull her out, resuscitate that bitch, and we're gonna get at this table. So madam goes sit at the table. She's talking to the girls like, y'all thought y'all could, you know, come against me. I'm gonna deal with y'all two later right now, but I'm here for this judge. The judge is able to cough, 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 and come back to life, girl. And madam tells her, bitch, if you cough on me, she tells her. Meanwhile, they drugged the girl in the pool, drowned her, and the girl got all this water in her lungs, and madam's like, if you cough on me, it's gonna be an issue.
Cough on me, you already know.
So madam tells the judge once again, look here, I wouldn't have to come over here and do all of this. I told you make the call, get him out of jail. The judge, what does she do? She gets to damn work. Madam leaves and she goes over girl to the judge to go pick up Doc. Doc is finally released from jail and he's just looking fine, girl. I remember he ended up telling the woman on his way out, he was like, if you still want this dick, you can get it. And I'm still at the doorbell like, where is my application? Where is mine? But that happened. So camera was dying, y'all, and I forgot to say this. There was so much going on this morning when I was filming, but I forgot something so important out of the review. I'm sitting here editing it. I'm like, wait a minute, how did I bring this up? After she, you know, she busted in on the judge, honey, had the judge to move some things around to start getting Doc out of jail. Madam went back to the jailhouse. Doc was ready, girl. Like I said, Doc had told that one woman, like, girl, if you still want this peen, it's still an option, even though, you know, you got me locked up. So he leaves out or whatever, and he has to return back to Club Eden because that's, girl, he's one of the people the girls be coming to see. So, girl, that's why she needed him out of jail so quick, because use the main scripper here, like, girl, use the money. Look at him, girl. He's the money. Look at his fine self. But he has to go straight to Club Eden after, you know, he freshens up in X, Y, and Z after jail. So he goes to Club Eden, and he's talking to Madam, and I don't know what really happens in this scene. Like, I really don't understand what's going on in this scene, but it's like some type of tension you can kind of tell, and she randomly just rips his jacket open, and she ain't trying to see his chest. This man has a full-blown mic on him. A full-blown, I don't know how I forgot this, girl, has a full-blown mic on him, and I'm speechless. That's probably why I stopped writing notes, because I was like, what? Girl, literally, I wrote no note about the mic. I don't know how the hell I forgot about the mic. I guess because I was so speechless during the moment. And I probably think I called one of my friends to start screaming about it. So I never came and wrote it back in my notes. But girl, he had a mic on him. I don't know if he, you know, put that mic on himself or somebody put it on him. But I was gagged.
I need you on the stage. You got work to do. All right. Doc,
Yes.
come here.
So that is where we're left off at, you guys. I have, you know, it's so much that goes on in these episodes, and I can't sit and talk about every single thing, but I hope these reviews entice y'all to go watch the full episodes, girl, and we can get our key together, okay? But I love y'all so much. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and definitely I'll see y'all again next week for another review, okay? I love all Queens Men. Go get BT Plus, and if you want a little website, girl, hit my DM, okay? But I'd rather you go get BT Plus and support this black app, okay? But if you ain't got it, girl, hit my DM, because we need to watch this show, okay? Bye.